my friends, my name is Nina Lupo and you are in Mindset Mint. Hi, how are you? Today I want to share with you one of my favorite stories. Okay, you know those type of stories that look like are made for little kids but help us adults with our complicated life. I also want to share with you certain concepts that will help you deal with difficult situations and with things out of your control. So today mainly we're going to talk about control, our need for control, and how to deal with that. So we love control, but why? The reason why the most of us are not good at dealing with change is because we feel out of control. When we start feeling that we are losing control, we freak, we panic. But why are we such control freaks? As everything that doesn't make a lot of sense, it has to do with our primal instincts. Being in control, or feeling in control at least, help us at taking greater risk. Psychologist Paul Slovic, he's a PhD, explains this beautifully with bread. Imagine you are cutting a loaf of bread and ask yourself, how close how close to the blade would you put your hand on the bread? Okay, now imagine someone else is cutting that loaf of bread and ask yourself the same question. Okay, if somebody else is doing it, how close to the blade do you put your hand on the bread? Let me guess. Your immediately response is further away. Further away when you are not holding the knife. And that is natural. That happens to all of us. And the reason is we need control for survival. Believe me when I say that we need control for survival. Our need for seeking control helps us to protect ourselves. It's like a survival mechanism. The lack of control in our life can lead to anxiety and depression. Do you know anybody with anxiety or depression that are not in control of their lives? Comment below. So, how do you deal with things you cannot control? But how do we? What about if we learn to find peace with dealing with things we cannot control and we let go of our need to control? Are you kidding? Like, I've read pages where that is the main advice they have, but who can do that? Like, the need for control, it's a need. Like, we need it for survival. It's in our primal instincts. Is that something we can get rid of? So I would like to offer you something that is not easy, but at least is achievable. And if not easy, it is pretty and it is simple. Now, let's talk about difficult situations. At least 10,000 times in your life, you have faced or you are going to face a difficult situation. That is just a fact, and it is what it is. So if we know that it's going to happen, we have an advantage because we can be prepared. You have to accept that in life, there are things out of your control, things you cannot change. These difficult situations are a good example of this. They help you prepare. So we already established that we all have a natural need for control. So when we face a circumstance that we do not control, well, all that instinct will come to life hungry for control. And to deal with that instinct, instead of pushing it back and pushing it away and ignore it, like some people advise you, you know what? You have to acknowledge. There is power in acknowledgement. Write that down. So you have to acknowledge that it exists, that it is important, and it's hungry. If it's hungry, just give it something to eat and it will go away. So provide yourself as the main thing to control to this primal instinct. You are the food for it to eat off. So let me explain this. I have a little card printed out that I look at several times a day, and it always helps me to feel in control. It says that I am responsible for myself and I'm in control of my life. I cannot determine the circumstances, but I can and I will determine my attitude towards them. Again, it's all about attitude, and it is all about mindset. It's all about mindset. When you need to feel in control, just remind yourself that the only thing you have control on is yourself, is your life, is your feelings, your thoughts, and your mindset. In life, everything is about focus. So next time you face a difficult situation, stop yourself from asking, how can I change or control this situation? And ask instead, what can I change in me that will impact this situation or the next one just like this one? Let me tell you something about life. Life is like a series of tests. Whenever you deal with something and you fail, or like my mentor said, like you're getting feedback, it will always come again to test you over and over until you pass and you are ready for the next level. So if you are living something over and over and over without knowing why, instead of asking why, ask yourself, what haven't I learned that I need to learn to pass this test and get to the next level? Where is the lesson I need to practice so I can move forward to the next level? Crying over a failure or feedback gives you nothing. Learning from a failure gives you everything. Now, remember at the beginning when I said I was going to share with you one of my favorite stories? Well, this one's called the dog and the nail story. So it goes like this. One hot summer afternoon, this guy David was driving south to visit some friends. And just like 5 minutes after passing a little farm, David's car broke down. So he tried, but unable to fix his car, he decided to walk to that small farm and ask for a phone as he had no cell phone service there. When he was getting closer to the little farm, he started hearing this dog just crying out loud. Ooh! He couldn't see the dog, but he could hear the dog. So he arrived sweaty and tired and overall thirsty. And when he arrived, he found an old man sitting on his chair, enjoying the time, doing nothing in particular, but just watching time pass. So the old man politely offered David some water from a well at the back of the house. David could hardly hear the old man because the dog was crying so loudly. They walked together as the old man told David that he will have to get the water himself. By the well, under the striking sun rays, was a dog crying his lungs out. So after drinking water, David explains to the old man that after his car is fixed, he could take the dog to the vet as well, it was pretty obvious that the dog was very sick. So the old man said that the dog was not sick. With disbelief, David pointed out that the dog was obviously in pain. So the old man said that the dog was in pain, but it was not sick. What do you mean? David asked. To this, the old man replied that just under the dog there was a nail that was pinching the dog's skin and was worse on a summer day as the metal got hotter as the day passed by. Why isn't he moving? David replied. And the old man replied, something that changed my life forever. He does not move because the nail bothers him enough to cry about it, but it does not bother him enough to move. Let me repeat this again. He does not move because the nail bothers him enough to cry about it, but it does not bother him enough to move. Conclusion. After what you heard, what you saw, what you learned, you should realize that most things you cannot control. So don't focus on them. Focus on what you can control, yourself. If you're not happy, don't cry about it. Move. When you face situations you cannot control, move your attention, your focus, and your energy towards you. That is what you can control. Master, again, master being in control of yourself and of your mind. And I guarantee you that there is no difficult situations you wouldn't be able to face, to solve, and or learn from. Be a master of your own life. Be emotionally smart. Let me tell you this, emotionally intelligence comes from controlling your emotions. Careful, do not suppress your emotion. That is counterproductive. Because they are there and they are real. Remember what we talked before? Power comes from acknowledgement. So acknowledge them as well as you acknowledge your control over them. You are in control of your emotions and your thoughts, because the other way around is when you either feel powerless and depressed, or you start looking at controlling others and controlling others people's life and controlling things you cannot control for real. So both of these options keep you from your true calling and your true purpose. We already made a video about purpose. I recommend it to you. Look for it in this channel. So now tell me and comment below, when was the last time you faced a difficult situation? What happened? When is the last time you felt out of control? Do you feel better prepared for next time after this video? Please share with us what you have to say. Someone, I guarantee, can learn from you and from your experience. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Oh my God, you will love the content we provide every day. Also, check out our website, www.mindsetmint.com. Like and subscribe to our channel, to our YouTube channel, as we want to continue our service to you and we need your feedback. Thank you very much for spending this awesome time with me. I know you know someone that will use this information. So remember always that sharing is caring.